Good afternoon and welcome to Much Ado About Art. Today we are delighted to be visiting Mr. Jerry Fearing of the St. Paul Dispatch. And Mr. Fearing is an editorial cartoonist. And we're just really pleased to be here today. And as we were talking earlier, we were saying that the artist makes a social commentary. I wonder if you could help explain really what this means from an artist's point of view.
Certainly, Diana. As far as an editorial cartoonist goes, the commentary concerns politics or our daily problems, whether it's a fuel shortage or the price of meat or an election, whether it's a city election or a state or a national, or even what's going on in the world, whether there's a problem in France or a summit meeting in Russia. So the comment made by the political cartoonist concerns the world around us, really.
Very good. And what device does an artist use to bring across these ideas, whether they be the current issue today? Because artists not only talk about the current problems, as you were saying, but artists express their ideas on other political ideas, don't you?
Oh yes, and all artists are expressing opinions. If you're a sculptor, you're doing a statue that explains how you feel about the pioneer period or what have you. It may appear in a park or even a shopping center for that matter. So each artist uses the tools that he works with best, I think, to make his commentary.
I guess that's because art is such a visual form. We don't use words, we use pictures to tell a story.
Well, it's a talent, a gift. Some people are gifted with speech, writers, and others are far more able to express themselves with cartoons or drawings or sculpting. So you find what you do best and you try to do that.
Right. Now your pictures are expressed on the editorial page of the newspaper. There's kind of a reason for that, isn't there? That it's placed on the...
Why the cartoons are on? Well, there are several reasons. For one, the editorial page is the historic place for opinions on it in a newspaper. And the editorial cartoon is an opinion of the artist, just as a written piece is the opinion of an editorial writer. And so it appears with his signature on the editorial page. Some newspapers, now their policy is a little different than the one we have at Dispatch, and they'll appear on the front page. The Chicago paper, for instance, is one of those. But for the most part, they confine the opinions to the editorial page, and therefore that's why the editorial cartoon appears there. Now, an editorial cartoon has changed in form somewhat through the years. It's a very ancient form of expression. Right now, there's a great deal of humor in your editorial cartoons. This wasn't true. At one time, there was a great deal of preaching. They were very bitter at one time, too, and hateful, you might say. Today, we find, I think, that we can appeal to more people and get our message across faster if we make them enjoy it a little bit.
Right. Those are good points. I think if we were going to talk about art in general, in addition to the editorial cartooning that you're talking about, we could say that much art is designed to influence behavior, right?
Yes, and influence thought. Now, as far as an editorial cartoon, it's an argument. I'm saying this is how I think it is, and of course I figure this is my opinion on a subject, so half of the people disagree with me that see it.
Right.
And it causes them to think maybe they will alter their thought, and on the other hand, maybe they'll write me a letter and alter mine.
Right. I think one of the most common ways that we have, where we're barraged by art to change or influence our behavior is in advertising. Am I correct?
Yes.
I think we've got an example of some... Can you get
that
those?
for you.
Okay. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about how the artist is trying to influence our behavior.
In this case, now the artist is a photographer, actually. Now, in advertising, you find a great deal of art as far as cartooning goes and drawings, paintings. In this case, it's a photograph, and they're trying to tell us what great fun it is to drink Pepsi-Cola. And you have a beautiful sunlit day, and everyone's having just a wonderful time out there, and all the food you could ever want. And of course, this all pleases your mind. This is just great. And of course, Pepsi-Cola is part of the greatness there.
So because everything is lovely and beautiful, we should, of course, in order to participate, also drink the Pepsi-Cola, and we will experience the great
appealing
life.
to our desire for...
Right. Okay, what are some other used in
Another technique here, again, we're using photographs, and it's the appeal to, I would get getting ahead of the neighbors. You don't want garbage cans in your front lawn. I don't imagine many people have, but in this picture we have. And if you get the Whirlpool condenser or compactor here, you end up getting rid of the garbage cans and you're on your neighbors right away.
I see. So they're trying me to worry more about how my home looks in comparison to my neighbors.
And also to get you to part with the price of that Whirlpool.
And that is an important part of advertising, isn't it?
That's the all-important part, really.
Right. Now we should these are magazine advertisements, and I guess we're barraged by advertisements, aren't they?
Everywhere, from the time you turn on your television set, get on a bus, you walk down the street, you see signs, billboards, neon signs above the buildings. Everywhere you look, you see advertising, trying to sell us, trying to convince us we should do something other than what we'd probably do if we hadn't seen the sign.
So that's probably the most public form of artistic communication.
I would think so.
Okay, that's kind of interesting. Another thing we mentioned earlier when we were talking that art's designed to do is to be shown in a public place. And I think we have some examples of art that we can find in the Twin Cities area. This one is at the state capitol, am I right?
I believe it's at the front of the Capitol.
My guess would be that the sculptor is trying to identify with these people and to feel like we're a part of a group.
And also, I think he's trying to have us remember where we came from.
Right.
These are the roots of Minnesota, the people who came here to settle and build the farms and homes and eventually the roads and skyscrapers of our city.
So we're trying to identify as members of a group. And here we have an Egyptian wall painting. And we see the grape pickers going now. I guess this means that this kind of public art has been in existence for...
Oh, I think before history.
I guess so, yeah.
We like to think that cartoons started when people still lived in caves. And I imagine art in general started at that time.
Right, I think so too. That's an interesting way to look at it. So we can see that art then is designed for just public use to have just around us.
It's a communication between the artist and the people.
Right, and I guess that's the most important part of the social aspect of art. One thing we were going to talk about is the fact that the artist serves as a reporter, in a sense. And that especially before photojournalism, the artist was the only kind of illustrator and reporter around.
A good example is newspaper work, where we had a large staff of artists that drew pictures of price, of fashions, and the first motor cars and such things. And then along came a photographer, and the quick method of getting a picture into the paper in a matter of minutes. And he was moved into different jobs. The editorial cartoon is one of the last vestiges of the newspaper artist. The sports page was the second, and that's pretty much passed out now. Right,
with the new photojournal. I think we can look at some examples of art from the time when the reporter served as, or the artist served as the reporter. For example, in this particular picture by Renoir, we see that he's really capturing kind of a daily event and putting a frame around it so that maybe these things are noticed. But it certainly describes the way of life at the time that the artist lived. And then we see Daumier's comparison with the past and present and his concern with everyday people. And in his picture here,
these were really revolutionary thoughts, too, as far as artists went, depicting the daily activities of the people around them on the conveyances and such.
Good,
One time they painted landscapes and only very wealthy portraits.
Right, royalty and that kind of thing, and now the concern with everyday people. Yeah, I think that's become an important part, and the way that everyday life becomes important. This is, I think, an interesting picture by Kingman because to my mind, it calls attention to our environment and maybe convinces me that I'd like to change something about it. It's very busy, and yet that's the city scene.
And this is also a good example of why an artist is able to do something a photographer can't. He condensed and put all of these distractions into one little frame, and the message comes across. A photographer may have just caught the L train there or a few signs. But an artist can take all the elements and do anything he wants with them to tell his story.
Right, and I guess that's where photojournalism can't quite
That is
meet
their
the bill.
limitation. And,
right, but the artist does have that freedom to describe things like that. I think that's a good point. Another thing that I think artists do is describe social conditions, and I think you'll agree with me. Your work does this in a sense. You really want a response from the viewer, and sometimes you want to provoke anger, or you want to provoke humor or concern, or
mostly
this kind
concern,
of thing.
I think, would be
Right.
the key word.
But I think many times we look at much of what is being done in modern art today, and we look at it and we say it's not pretty, I don't like it. And maybe the artist's way of looking at things is not to have something that we like or enjoy. We've got some examples, again, of this kind of art. War has been a subject. Way back as far as 1808, we see Goya painting this execution picture. And he's really saying in this, he was just really very disgusted by and revolted by the actual shooting of the innocent townspeople in the Spanish town by Napoleon's troops. And he really makes this very clear in his painting, I think. And then we, of course, the very famous painting by Picasso, Guernica, which is mural size. It's huge, and I know if you look closely, you can see some of the things he uses. This is, again, the artist's reaction to the bombing of a Spanish town. And he uses only black and white and gray, which I think puts kind of an ominous tone to it. He uses all kinds of symbolism to explain pain and sorrow and disaster. For example, the fallen statue and the mother and the dead child and the burning building and the shrieking horse, they all kind of result, if you're really studying this painting, in making you really feel upset, which I think is what he wanted to accomplish by this. Then I think this modern, very contemporary artist, this pop artist, is really showing much of the contemporary concern about the apathy toward art. Here we see the famous statue, or a takeoff on the famous statue of the Marines planting the flag at Iwo Jima, and they're doing it in a lunch counter. And on that chalkboard behind where the soldiers are putting this on the table are the names of the dead people in this particular battle. And then off to the side, of course, are the people just sitting by and eating their lunch. And I think the artist here has in mind to say, you know, wake up, everybody! This is happening in your own back door to your next door neighbors. And
there's one other point we might make about that particular piece of art. It's a marriage of several different art mediums.
Right.
It was first a photograph of the raising of the flag, and then it was a great monument, and here he's used it to as an anti-war symbol.
Right. Isn't that funny how that one symbol can mean...
It can mean whatever the artist wants it to.
Right. Well, those are kind of some examples of how we can react emotionally to some of contemporary art. Now, can we look at some of your work and talk a little bit about cartooning as a form of expressing things?
I was just working on tomorrow's cartoon here, and we could take a look at that.
Okay.
And now, let me explain first before I even show it to you. This is a cartoon that concerns Eugene McCarthy, former senator, who recently has said he's going to run for the House of Representatives in a district in Minnesota, for a district in Minnesota.
Right.
He's been gone for some years, and so what does an artist say about that? Well, my comment here is meant to be humorous and also has a bit of an irony to it. Here's a man who quit politics to be a poet, and he's coming back now to reconstruct the House of Representatives, is his claim. So I drew him here as the poet that wants to be a architect.
And there he is at the drafting board.
Right, he's at the drafting board with his tools all around him, building the new House of Representatives. It's meant to be sarcastic in a way, because I think if a man really wanted to do these things, he should have been in there doing them rather than writing poems and avoiding it. And that's just my opinion. I'm sure another person is going to argue with that. But that's why I signed my name. This is my opinion, and I'm sure we'll have some comments on it.
Right. Do you get much reaction from the public on your cartoons?
Some, and it's usually a negative reaction, because in order to feel strongly enough, you have to be angry with someone.
I wonder if we clear off the drawing board, if you can show us one of the techniques in cartooning is using the caricature, isn't it?
Right.
Like you did with Eugene
Yes.
McCarthy. Could you share with us some of the ways that you do this?
Yes, caricature is a very old method or system of holding a person up to ridicule. In the ancient days of cartooning, it landed a lot of cartoonists in jail.
Oh,
Today,
really?
caricature is used not so much as a tool to injure someone as it is a form of pictorial shorthand. And I'll explain that.
Okay, here, of course, we have somebody everybody will recognize.
That's our president, and now you'll have people saying, why do you make his nose big or make large jowls? Well, that's because we're taking the picture of the president and fitting it into a format of cartooning, which is a humorous, light, airy type of presentation. So we take his face, and I'll just rough it in here so we get the idea. Now, every cartoonist, I believe, and caricature artist would do it a little differently. He does it his own way. I like to know where I'm going. There are cartoonists who will start with an eyebrow and then work out from there.
Right.
I like to have an idea of where the whole face is going. I like to draw it all at the same time.
Okay, and that's the hairline.
That's the hair. You see how the hairline is here?
Right.
That's the forehead, and then we put the jowls in.
Now, that's one aspect of the president's physical
Right,
characteristics.
the
that-
characteristics that he would be easily identified. Since our cartoon only holds attention for a matter of seconds, it has to be done quickly. We shouldn't have a portrait that is going to take someone a few minutes to understand or recognize.
So, of course, we have the ear and the nose and the jowls, which are...
And another very strong characteristic are the heavy eyebrows.
Right, right.
And another characteristic of his is looking up through his eyebrows.
Yeah, I hadn't noticed that, but that's very true,
You
right.
see here how he's doing it? And most of the time when he's speaking on camera, he'll put his head down and look up.
Okay, oh, that's great. Yes, it's already beginning to take shape. Very recognizable.
His mouth here. Now this is a recent picture, and he has gained a few more wrinkles in recent months.
Something about the job of the president that does that, I think. And there we have him. Very good. Okay, that's kind of fun. I wonder if you could do a quick picture of someone else.
Well, how about our governor?
I think that
who has been on all the magazines recently. We might
right,
as well
equal time, one from
see,
each
I have
party.
a picture of him here we can take a look at and identify the characteristics that we're trying to distort.
Okay, now you said sometimes you get a little complaints because the governor is a very nice-looking man.
Right, and this makes it very difficult to draw a
I would
caricature of
guess.
a person.
I would guess so.
Now, the president has a good face for caricature. The governor isn't bad, but he's still awfully
Even featured, which makes it
even
more
featured or
difficult.
handsome. We have the wavy hair. Now he has a very thick, athletic neck, so we really
Accentuate
increase
that.
that a little so it stands out more.
If anyone's interested in the
The nose is rather broad, so we'll increase it a bit.
Okay.
Heavy brows. The eyes are rather done more of that shape.
While you finish up the picture of our governor, I'd like to thank you so much for coming and sharing your ideas and your tricks of the trade with us and helping us to see art as a means of making a social commentary. I like that, the big chin and everything.
The heavy lowered lip there.
That's really interesting. So, thank you for coming. Steve. Betty told me I'd find you up here.
Hi, Diana. How are you?
I
Come
thought
on in.
I'd bring over my my memorabilia box and show you today. But gee, you look like you're having fun. What are you doing?
Well, I came up here to clean up the place, but I found this old scrapbook that my mother made of my life, starting from about the day I was born.
Oh, fantastic. Hey, look at that. There you are as a baby.
Yeah.
How old are you there?
Oh, about a year, I think. Maybe,
Oh,
I don't know.
that is just darling. Let's see what else you have. Oh, the childhood.
Yeah.
And oh, look over there.
I
Isn't
think
that you at school?
I think that's the first suit.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, and here you are with your Randolph Heights class.
Oh
Is
my,
that
yeah,
right?
right.
That was about what grade?
I think that was about the 3rd or 4th grade. I'm not sure.
Oh,
yeah.
fantastic. Look, oh, what comes next? Oh, so you grew up rapidly. It looks like we're, are
Yeah.
you, look over here. Isn't that a picture of you in your uniform?
Oh, yeah. Oh, I think that was right after I was commissioned early in World War II.
Let's see, you were a flyer, weren't you?
Yeah, I was
Navy
in the
flyer?
Navy. I was a flyer in the Navy, and I spent, I think it was about a year and a half in training and then a year and a half overseas.
Fantastic. Well, let's see, what else have we got? Oh, is that your wife with you?
Yeah,
Let's see.
that was taken in Duluth on the day that we got married back in
Oh.
about 1948. My, 25 years ago.
Very good of
Yeah.
you to remember. That's fantastic. Steve, I've got a great idea.
What's that?
You know, my memorabilia box is from our trip this summer, but why don't we make a memorabilia box about your life?
Oh, okay.
Should we do it? We got
Yeah.
certainly have the stuff here, haven't we?
And there must be enough of it around here someplace.
Okay, yeah, we should be able to find things. Let's see.
Okay.
You want to set that down?
Yeah, we
First,
can-
we need a box to start with. Here's some over here.
Okay.
Which size do you think we ought to go with? You want to go with the big one or the...
Well, I think when you get an old man like me, yeah, you ought to use the big one.
Okay, we'll go
Okay.
with the big box.
Okay.
Let's see, can we move this
All
over?
right, here, I'll do it.
Okay, now, I guess our first decision when we start making something like this is to decide how we're going to use our space, wouldn't you guess?
I would think so.
What areas should we cover? What do you think? Your childhood,
Well, I don't know.
baby days, school days, war experiences?
No.
Oh, you don't want to share those?
No.
Okay, and maybe something about your current life. Well, let's see what we've
Okay.
got,
All right.
and we'll try
Okay.
and arrange it in here so that we can see how it's going to work. If we were
Okay.
going to start with your childhood, that's a good place to begin. Have we got a baby
Okay.
picture in there somewhere?
Yeah.
All right, there might be one in here.
Oh,
there's
there
one.
you-
There's
yeah,
one.
there's-
Oh, with your
okay.
train.
Yeah.
That's
Use-
cute.
Do
Okay.
you want this one or do you want this one in the wash?
Well, I don't know. What
Yeah.
do you think? Could we use them both?
I think so.
Okay, let's kind of hold them up.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, then if we use this area in here for your baby things,
All right.
then what would we put in next? Let's see. Here's a pencil. I'll just kind of lightly sketch where it's broken. Have you got
Okay,
one?
yeah.
Okay, good enough. I'll just lightly sketch where
Just,
we,
just a little line.
yeah,
Okay.
to roughly where we divide that off. Okay, then where would we go with something from school? Have we got, oh, here, let's take some.
Okay. All
Hey,
right.
there
this
you
one-
are.
this
The
one?
new suit.
Okay.
The new
all right.
suit we could put in, and maybe the bicycle.
First bike.
First
and
bike.
only bike.
And only bike.
Only bike.
Hey, great. Maybe we can find some toys laying around too that we could build
Some
into
toys.
that area. Have you got some?
I think right in here.
Hey, fantastic.
When I was young, I collected. I had a collection of soldiers. I think that's supposed to be a parachutist, and this is a early version of a radio man. And
That's a bird in his hand.
Yeah, that shows how old I was.
Before
I am.
radios?
And I don't even know what that was.
Unbelievable.
And oh, here's a radio man. He's lost his helmet and his aerial and what all. But oh, here's the one that's not in bad shape.
Okay, I think we could work one of those in, maybe build a shelf and stand it on that. What do you think?
I think that would be good.
Okay.
Why don't we put these in with masking tape and then we can rearrange it if we want.
All right.
All
First of all, we should, okay, let's decide, are we going to We should decide what else we're going to put in here so that I know where to put the divisions, because we have to put the
Okay.
so that went roughly there. Now,
Let's
what
see.
else do we have? Here's some old oil paints. You being an artist, we better include some
Yeah.
of those in there.
Well,
Oh, and-
we could put some navy wings in.
okay, that'd be good, yeah. And I bet maybe we've got a picture of you in your uniform.
This is when I was a cadet.
Okay, just before you get your wings, that'd be good. We could
Yeah.
put that down there maybe. Like
Okay.
a small section like that.
Okay.
How's that?
And the wings too? And
Yeah, right.
All right,
Include
good.
both?
All right.
Okay.
Oh, how about some of this money?
Oh, yeah.
I picked this money up from the various countries that I visited right at the end of the war. When the war ended in Europe, I got assigned to fly co-pilot for an admiral, and he traveled around on inspection trips. And every time we got to a different place, I'd pick up some of this money. And this was from North Africa,
Neat. Oh, look at the
And-
colors.
and this was German money. And then we have some English and
Okay.
French.
Good. Well, we
Irish?
can put those
Okay.
in this section. We'll just extend that section
Okay.
out beyond and put some of the
We'll
money
pick-
in it too.
All right.
Then, how about something you've done with your wife? Have you gone on a trip with her?
Yeah, we've only really made one big trip in our lives, and that was to Jamaica about 4 years ago. Oh, heavens.
Here's a picture. Is that from?
Oh, yeah, that's from in Kingston, Jamaica. That's the capital. And
Okay.
we stayed there a couple of days.
Okay, then we'll put that.
Yeah.
You got any other souvenirs from the trip?
I don't know.
Well, let's start going. I think we've got a rough idea now as to where we want to put the cardboard sections. Now, you got the scissors? I guess the first
yeah,
thing to do
fine.
is to measure off about where we need it.
Okay. Where?
Want to cut about there,
Okay.
roughly?
You want me to cut straight like a good art teacher?
Like a good art teacher does.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see if
Whoops.
that fits. Little short?
Oh, it'll be all right, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay,
Okay.
let's put it in with tape for now. As you said, that would be a better idea in terms of getting it. When we did the final thing, we could run the glue along the bottom.
Yeah, okay,
Where's the end of the tape? Here's the end of the tape.
okay. I've got my trifocals if you...
You want to rip off tape and I'll
Okay, all right.
try and how to do. Okay. I guess I don't have to make rings. I was,
We could probably just do this.
oh, boy, I'm glad you're along here to
Yeah.
give us some advice. Okay, just so we get started.
Okay.
Over there. All right. If you're very careful and accurate when you measure this, the tension of the sides of the box holds it in, I found.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. So next time we'll be a little more careful.
Oh, okay.
Okay, now let's see. The next division.
Let's
we
see,
got-
there was one here.
Yeah, right. Okay. Let's, why don't we cut it down a little bit and then,
Let's try that.
Okay.
Just see what happens. This is all temporary. We can,
that's right.
Okay.
Oh, cut off,
about that much?
yeah, that
Okay.
sounds good.
Okay.
There we go. Okay, now we can tape that in place,
Okay.
right? Okay. Oh, another thing that would be kind of neat, if we had an old wallpaper book up here, we might put the background, put just a piece of
Okay.
wallpaper in the background. We don't have any, but, we could do something like that. Or, if kids made these, they might like to paint the inside, some colors that they liked.
Do we want to put the pictures in now to see how they,
Yeah, let's do that.
if we can
Then
find
we
some?
can, let's see, this was the baby section.
Okay.
Oh, Steve, a curl. Is that from your first haircut?
I hope not, because my mother and my uncle gave it to me, and we had to take me to a barber to get it straightened out.
Afterward. That's
Yeah, right.
fantastic. Okay, where's the baby picture? It was here a minute ago.
Let's see.
Here it is, here it is.
Okay, all
Okay,
right.
we'll put the
Okay.
tape on the back so we can move it around.
Okay.
You know what would be neat would be to mount it with photo mounts.
Photo mounts. Oh, yeah.
those-
Then if you ever wanted to take it apart, you could.
Right, okay. And then if we could set that in there.
Oh, okay. Should we put a little piece of tape on it? or
Yeah,
not?
maybe that's a good idea to keep it
Okay.
from falling out. And then we'll just work from the standing up position
Okay.
as it starts to take shape.
Okay.
Okay, now, right, when we glued this in, the tape wouldn't show. This is just temporary. Okay, now we need another section. Did we have anything more for the babies?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, a little toy. Yeah, we could tape part of that up. Wouldn't that be neat?
Yeah, okay.
All right, that
I
takes
think
care of that. Oh, yeah, you've got that other baby picture.
That
we
one
put
of,
in.
yeah, in the tub.
Let's put that down in the corner and lay this down flat.
Okay, all right.
One of the reasons we move things around before we finally decide what we want to do.
Oh, say, in the section of childhood, there's something in here that you might like. This is a letter to my mother, and it says, Mrs. Conger, I cannot feel that Stephen is really doing the best that he can. Here are the marks which he has received for the month. Daily work averaged out to 65 after a month, and then the literature tests averaged out to 76.
Are you sure you want to include that in this box?
Why not?
All right.
It says I'd be lucky to get a D.
I thought I saw a report card. Should we include a report card?
Sure, sure.
Just to show. Here we go. Okay,
Yeah.
we could put that in the childhood section.
Well, that must be an early one. That's not too bad.
Well, they got worse. Huh?
Yeah.
I know you did well in art, though.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put up another division quickly.
Okay,
Let's see. I think right about there.
okay. Look off your
Got
finger.
Already got one.
Okay.
Was that the half or was this the half? All right. Bad guess. Bad guess all the way around.
Which one? About there?
Yeah, about
Okay.
an inch and a half.
All right.
Okay, right now we need some tape to tape that in.
I'll get this out.
And this is where we would put the soldiers probably, huh? Whoop.
Oh, okay. We
You
should
report card?
probably put some more of the sections in because that would make it a little more permanent, I think.
You're right. You're
Okay.
right.
Okay, here we go. All right.
Okay.
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 And we'll
at the
put a
top.
roll of tape behind the report card.
Yeah. Preserve that for posterity.
We ought to find the ones that I signed myself.
Did you sign them yourself? You just really were something, weren't you?
No.
You were something.
No.
Okay, we were going to put one big one down there, weren't we? Have we got one about that size?
Oh, it's got to be cut.
Okay, that's where we're going to go with it.
Okay.
Got it?
I think so.
Okay.
Okay. Oops.
There, that's what I mean about the pressure holding it in.
Oh, good.
So,
Well,
that'll
we
be
can
good.
trim that when we get ready to glue
Yeah,
it.
when we're in the final stages, we'll trim that down so it's even. So this is where we would put one of the soldiers,
Okay?
up in your childhood thing.
Okay.
Okay, it's starting to take shape. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's really getting the flavor of it.
I think this can really be fun.
This could be lots of fun. Kids could have fun with this. Wouldn't this make a great Christmas gift for grandparents or something?
Oh, that would be marvelous. But there must be some other ways that we could use it.
Yeah. How else? What else could we?
Well, you did your trip.
Right, I did
Yeah,
my trip.
right.
Or baseball cards.
Baseball cards.
If you collected baseball cards.
You could use it in school too, couldn't you? Like for a book report?
Oh, fantastic. Sure, different scenes from a story or a history report. You know,
Yeah,
maybe
history.
different sections of...
Or the life of an artist or an inventor. Or,
I knew
yeah.
the art teacher
That a
would come
girl,
up with
that a
that.
girl.
Yep, right, right.
Yeah, Leonardo would be a good one.
Leonardo
Yeah.
would be full. We'd put wings in his too. One section we didn't mention was an art section for you. Can we devote this second one to? Have we got a piece that you've done? Hey, there's an old.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, the point is that I guess that we're trying to make is that we should mix two-dimensional
Oh, I
things.
see. Yeah.
Two-dimensional and three-dimensional things.
Oh, this was a Christmas card that was sent to my grandmother in San Diego, and I don't know how it ever got back.
Well, grandmothers are like that.
I guess.
Would that fit in? We'll just tuck it in there for now. The
Yeah,
tension will
we
hold
can-
it for now, and we could trim it later if we wanted to. Along with the artist, maybe we'd have an old scrubby paint tube. That's good.
And we could put some brushes.
Right, right.
Okay.
So I guess what we're trying to say is that we want to use two-dimensional things and three-dimensional things, right? Mm-hmm. And a real mixture of things. So no matter what theme is chosen, we can use 2- and 3-dimensional things. We could do this kind of as a collage if we just used 2-dimensional things, couldn't we?
I think so.
Where we would just maybe use strips.
And then if you wanted to make it permanent, you could use acrylic medium on it, and
Right.
that would make it as permanent as an oil painting.
Very good, right. Now, that reminds me, if we were going to cover this, like mine has glass in it, we could use, here's an old cleaning bag. And now, like so many of the ones we see on the market commercially have seeds or beans in them, and we need something to hold it in. So, can you tuck that under?
Okay.
We can tape this, yeah, we could tape this on so that it was tight and would hold things in, and you can get it really nice and tight. I've got a sample down here of one that was done by a young person that they used saran wrap because it was, again, maybe we can set that down.
Okay.
Again, it was a smaller box. But see, they used 3-dimensional things and 2-dimensional things that they were interested in, which I think is kind of neat. Bikes and horses and a souvenir from the thing. There's so many things. As we were saying earlier, here's some commercially done ones. This is kind of a little house shape at Christmas time.
Oh, I see.
See? So, and my goodness, they really sell. Here's another one, a little barn. And these are, you know, are for sale.
Oop, I forgot about that time when I spent 3 summers on the farm.
I think that's the greatest thing, is that it makes you remember, think back, and you can really enjoy looking back and sharing those experiences. A teacher at Hayden Heights, I think his name's Ron Brzezinski, made this frame. I guess he was going to have his kids work to show that kids could build it in wood very simply out of wood scraps.
Well, this one looks like it would, you could put glass in it.
Right, right. Glass over it and a piece of wood behind it, and you'd have really kind of a nice frame. So the kids, if they're handy with wood and have, you know, supplies available, might enjoy making ones out of wood.
Yeah, good, good.
Say, while we're talking about kids' work, could I share with you a couple of the pictures that have been sent in?
Oh, I love it.
Would you love to see it? These
yeah.
are self-portraits, Steve, and they're just terrific. This group happens to come from Farnsworth. And Debbie Peckman, isn't it? Peckman from
I think
Farnsworth?
so, I think so.
Look at this one, Bright Eyes.
Yeah.
Lynn Flaherty from Farnsworth,
Oh, these are just marvelous.
aren't they?
Yeah.
And Kirsten Sanf, I
Yeah.
would guess. Look at those eyes, very nice
Oh,
and pronounced.
beautifully done,
Yeah.
beautifully
Oh,
done.
here's somebody with bright cheeks. David
Oh,
Sanf. They must be brother and sister. Could be.
Could be.
Jackie,
Say, that's
isn't that nicely done?
yeah,
Really nice.
looks a little Egyptian.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Isn't it amazing what kids can do when they put their minds to it? Before we quit, we've only got a couple of minutes. Let me show you a couple. I'll save the rest of these Farnsworth ones for another
Okay.
day. I've got some from Gorman.
Oh,
Look at that. Some
isn't
fifth graders.
that
Lori
nice.
Nelson's, I think it is, and Linda Wallish from Gorman.
Oh, these are excellent.
Aren't they just really terrific?
Where did they learn to do this, I wonder?
On the Much Ado About Art show.
Well, marvelous. The first show.
Our first lesson was
Well,
on self-portraits. And
well,
so
yeah,
this is
right,
what
I
the
saw
kids
that.
did. And these are some of the results. And
Oh,
I've got, here, I love this one. Isn't that
Mike
fantastic?
Johnson, grade 4. I wonder if Mark has freckles.
I bet so. Gee, it's fun looking back at things we've done and at things we can make together.
Right.
Well, let's see if we can finish up on that box.
Okay. Here we go. Now let's see. Okay. Now let's see. Oh, we forgot to put the picture with the bicycle and the first suit.
taking a trip in an antique automobile is one way of taking a trip back in time. Visiting an antique store is another way to step back in time and try to recapture some of the essence of a life that was before. For example, when we visit an antique store, we might find something like this, which was a blacksmith's measuring tool. He used this to measure around the edge of a wagon wheel to see how much metal he could have. Another thing we might see in an antique store would be an old buggy, or part of the Civil War, vintage of the Civil War, a marvelous sword like this. Now, you know, when we visit an antique store or take a ride in an antique car, we try to recapture the past, and there are many ways that we do this. We might do this by collecting things. Oh, another way we preserve the past is by recording things in books. Or making scrapbooks is a good way to record part of your past. And reconstructing things, rebuilding things, like keeping an antique car in running condition. Another way is by recapturing things and making them permanent. An artist does this in his paintings. He captures the past in perhaps great historic events or legends. He may get the great legendary figure of a hero. Let's look at some paintings done by artists through the centuries. What is the artist showing us? What part of life has he selected to frame, to isolate, to emphasize? These paintings show the ancient legends found in Greek and Roman stories or mythology. They show us gods and goddesses and explain the mysteries of nature. Through art, these ancient legends and myths are kept alive and passed on from generation to generation. The artist captures man's beliefs. He gives us a look into the mind of an earlier time. The artist also selects and records images of his faith. The Christian religion has inspired many different artists during many periods of history to paint great masterpieces telling the story of their religious beliefs. These great works of art certainly inspire us with the mystery and awe and faith of the artist. We can share with them the beauty of their beliefs, preserved through the centuries. History and historic moments have also inspired artists. They have captured events that occurred at the same time they lived, events they thought were important, and time has proved them so. These paintings are from the history of our country. Can you recognize these events? The artist has framed them and captured them in time. You too can capture the events around you and capture it in time. Unhappy events of history, such as war, have occurred throughout the ages, as is shown by this Spanish painter and also by this ancient tapestry. Man has been pitted against man.
Yeah.
But But you know, not only are great historic events important in capturing time, but the very day-to-day articles that we find in life in the past help to fill in the gaps between these great historic events. For example, we get a unique view of what life was like if we look at coffee grinders. That's something that might have been used by your great-grandmother to fix her morning coffee. Or the kitchen articles, like the muffin pans here. This kind of looks a little bit like a potato masher, doesn't it? This is an antique one. And this would have been fun to use, wouldn't it have? Maybe to smash herbs or do something like that. These everyday articles, the iron, how about the old coat? Great-grandpa probably wore that to keep warm. And that's what we might call an Armstrong washing machine. Was used by someone using their own power to swish it through the water. We've taken a few steps through time since then, haven't we? We've changed our way of life, and yet each one of these things has lent itself to what we have today. Each part of the past has a part in the future too, because it affects the way we are. Great artists through all times have captured the everyday part of life also, in many paintings of everyday people, doing everyday things, just as we have our everyday articles here in the antique store. Even as far back in time as ancient man, we find man painting on his cave wall, painting the familiar things around him. What everyday events and things have artists through the ages selected to frame, to capture, and preserve through time? Man's work has been recorded through time, from the ancient Greek and Roman tasks of making sandals, or to the dignity of man as he labors in medieval times, plowing his field. And to two modern artists who show fishing in such a way that it emphasizes the timelessness of the art. Though these paintings were painted thousands of years apart, the message is the same and could be as easily shown by recording those around us at their labors. But not only is man's work worthy of being recorded, but also his play, as he lives together and enjoys his fellow man, as he enjoys his family. These simple events, recorded through time by artists, have captured the essence of what it's like to be a man or to be a person. These simple daily events, recorded in different countries, such as Japan, and by different artists, are still as familiar as the things happening at your house, in your own backyard, or just next door. The same things you enjoy have been enjoyed through time. Human daily events recorded by artists in their paintings give us an insight into what life was like way back then. The artist captures a moment and holds it fast for all time. And that moment lives on for us as long as the artist's work does. You know, you ought to begin looking at paintings around you and seeing how often the past is bridged by the artist's brush. See how often really familiar things are captured and framed by the artist. Ordinary people doing ordinary things. Events that are as much a part of our life today as they were in the past. And today's artists reflect today's world. A world of comic books and electric appliances, of pollution and conflict. But time puts things into perspective. Only the best art seems to survive the judgment of time. What will the art of today's world tell the people of the future about your world and mine? As we look back, generations of the future will be looking back at us and at what we record, you and I. What will they see? What will we tell them about ourselves? So, by taking a trip with the artist's brush, we can take a trip back in time, and with some paintings, a trip ahead in time. Capturing the past is important, and capturing the world around us is important. And it's something you can do too. You'll find that many things that you do in your daily life will help you to capture and what happens today. You might, for example, do something that your family has done together and make a painting of that, or write a poem about it. This is one way you can capture things in time. Sometimes it's delightful to have things to pass on from generation to generation. In this instance, the dress that I'm wearing today was made by my grandmother when she was a very young girl studying sewing in a convent. She learned how to make this dress and made it for her hope chest, and later was married in it. This is part of my heritage. I've inherited this from my grandmother, through my mother, and now to me, and certainly will be a treasure to pass on to future generations. I guess that's the important thing about the past. Passing things on, keeping them and preserving them. Today, a very popular way of capturing and preserving things around us, our collections or things from our past, is by putting them in a memorabilia box. You know, you've seen them in stores. Making a memorabilia box is really a fun way to capture the past or the present. And on our next lesson, Mr. Conger and I are going to show you how to make your own memorabilia box. Looking at these boxes may give you some ideas of some things to look for at home and bring to school for your special box. So think about things around you that are important to you and capture them in time this way. Boys and girls, I hope you look around your home and find treasures of the past, because I'm sure they're there, and that you help to preserve them for the future. yesterday and today are met. Yesterday and tomorrow are met in today. Only with the perspective of the future can we tell what impact present events can have. History is being made now, and you are a part of it. And you can help capture it in time.